Hi, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm Dawn Ori, and I am here to kind of talk to you about the idea of ways to help yourself stay grounded no matter what's going on. Because May is Mental Health and Awareness Month, I wanted to share with you some of the things that I use over the next few YouTubes on how to stay grounded, how to stay centered, how to give yourself the benefit of using things that give you mental clarity so that you'll be able to have really great outcomes. One of the things that I do is I ask myself questions. Yes, I ask myself questions. Yes, I answer the questions. Why do I ask myself questions? Because I know I need an answer. Why do I answer the question? Because who else is going to answer a question for me but me? So I ask myself the question and I allow myself to go as deep in the answer as I need to go so that I can have full clarity when I'm done. What questions do I ask myself? I ask myself 3 questions. The first question I ask myself is, what am I really experiencing? The reason why I ask myself what I'm really experiencing is because sometimes emotionally we allow the emotions to take us in places that aren't really exactly congruent to the experience that we're actually having. So we get really angry and we just go into a fit of rage, or we get really unnerved and we go to a panic, or we get really unnerved and we are just disheveled and oh my God, all kind of, not being able to really get it together because we have not really given ourselves the opportunity to stop and say, wait a minute. What am I really experiencing? And then after I ask myself what I'm experiencing, I ask myself, what are you going to do about what you're experiencing? What do you want to do about what you are experiencing? And I answer myself, what do you really want to have as your outcome from this experience? And then I ask myself, after I ask myself, what do I want as the outcome? Am I willing to do what I need to do to have the outcome? So sometimes when I'm angry, I ask myself, am I experiencing what I'm experiencing? They made me mad. I ask myself if I am really, really feeling it. Yes, I am. Yes, they made me mad. Does it really call for me to be angry in a situation? Yes, it does. Sometimes it doesn't. But yes, it does in this occasion that I'm giving you the understanding for. Yep, it does. Now, what do I want to have happen? Am I trying to go to jail over this? No. Stand down. Am I trying to lose a friend over this? No. Stand down. Or they weren't a friend anyway, so they can go. Am I trying to hurt someone's feelings over this? Then I ask myself, well, did they hurt my feelings? And then I ask myself, is it worth it for me to retaliate and hurt their feelings because they hurt mine? Most of the time that answer is no. 99% of the time that answer is no. The only time that answer is yes is when I haven't done the full analysis. And then I do something that I regret. So in order for me to do something that I don't regret, and to be able to do something that will be the right outcome that I really and truly desire, I ask myself, what are you really experiencing, and what is the outcome from this experience that you desire? So that's question number 1. It's actually 2 or 3 questions in there, but number 1, that's the main question. What am I really experiencing? And I do write it down. I do give myself a time to journal. Now, if I'm in the thick of it, can I write it down? No. But at least I can give myself the opportunity later on to just kind of step back. So here's the thing. When I'm in the thick of something, I really have learned to be quieter so I can listen to myself, my higher self, the God in me, the divine, who wants all things good, who wants all things lovely, who wants all things that are great in my life who wants all positive outcomes, who wants everything to be abundant, who wants everything to be beautiful. When I'm in the thick of those things, I have learned from wisdom to just get a little quieter. Even though I want to yell out, just get a little quieter so I can hear. And usually the voice will say, okay, be quiet. And then I have to be quiet. Or, okay, walk away. All right, walk away. Or decide right quick, I don't even want to deal with this. You don't even want to deal with this. No, I don't want to deal with this. We're done. And it shuts down a lot of things when you're able to give yourself the space. Even just a few minutes to hear yourself say, do you want this? Are you done with this? Why don't you walk away from this? Do you need to walk away from this? It's so fast once you learn how to give yourself the step back period. It only takes a second. But that step back period is everything in saving relationships. It's everything in making sure that you make the right decision and don't end up in spaces with the police. Or in spaces where you've hurt someone that you love, or in spaces where you have to retract from regret, or where you are in places where you know that you have to apologize because what you said hurt them, but you also hurt yourself because you said it. So what am I really experiencing is the key to making sure that all of those things give you clarity. That's a clarity question. The other question that I always ask myself is, what do I want? What do you want, Renee? I mean, really, what do you want? And then, after I ask myself, what do I want? I really give myself the opportunity to say what I want. I'm not happy in this situation. I remember very clearly being with a boyfriend that I was dating, and he was very clear, and he wasn't a boyfriend. He was a guy that I was dating. I was solely dating him, but he was not solely dating me. And he gave me that information ahead of time. I knew ahead of time, and I just wasn't clear on how that would work out for me because I'd never been in that situation before. Well, it came to a place where I was just like, yeah, I don't want this. I'm not willing to continue in this vein because it's not beneficial to me on all levels. And when I really got that, when I really stopped and said to myself, after being in situations where it gave me angst to be there, or when I left I was sad, or when I left I was angry that I was even a part of it, or just the feeling of not having enough in the situation. And it was more than enough for him. It was, in his mind, all he could give. And that was great. But it wasn't what I needed. So when I asked myself, what do you want? Do I want to sever ties with him forever? No, he's a great guy. Can we morph this into just friends? Do I even want to ask him that? Do I even want to have that type of relationship with somebody that gave me choices in the beginning to be this or that? Let's see. Let's try it. It's over 10 years later. We have the best relationship now because he can do his life his way, and I'm not expecting him to change and do his life any other way. And I have an amazing relationship with a man who is in it to win it with me. And it works because this is what I wanted. I didn't want that. And when I was able to really give myself the space to say, girl, what do you want? I was able to give myself the authority and the power to say, I want this. I don't want this. I'm going to have the conversation because this doesn't benefit me, but this will. And I was able to literally say to myself, what happens if what you want is not congruent with what he wants? What are you going to do? The answer to that was, well, if he doesn't want to be just friends and have a platonic relationship that is truly based on friendship, because we're both great people, if he doesn't want that, deuces. And I was okay with deuces, okay? Because I just wasn't willing to be in that space anymore and compromise my own heart, my own mind, my own emotions, and my own self-worth as a woman. I wasn't willing to do it anymore. So when I got to that place, I asked myself what I wanted, and we moved on from there. And we have a wonderful relationship today, platonic friends. But if I had never asked myself what I wanted, I would have kept bumping up against the same thing over and over again. The same thing over and over again. I would never have given myself permission to have the power of choice and decision in my own life. I would never have stepped myself into a place of inner peace and alignment with my own being. Because truly I was out of alignment. I was never meant to be a harem girl. That's not my role in this life. That's not my role in this life. Some women can do it. More power to them. I have nothing against them or what they choose to do for their lives. For me and my life, I'm not trying to be one of many. Never have been, never will be. Tried it, don't like it, no more. Okay? But I had to get through that and give myself the power and the okay to say, even if he doesn't want it this way, we can be friends, or he can be gone, and I'll be okay with that. I had to give myself the power for that. So it's very powerful asking yourself what you need and then giving yourself the space to answer it, and then standing by the decisions that you've made and the answers to enact what you need in your life. Very, very powerful. Also helps with mental clarity because you're not foggy about who you are in this specific situation. There have been countless other situations where I've been able to create mental clarity by asking what you need as well. The third question that I always ask myself is, what do you need? This is a very different question than what do you want? The reason why it's a very different question than what do you want is because need is based on your internal desire and your internal belief systems. Your needs are always based on the things that make you you in your makeup and in your being. Your desires, your wants are things that are added to you. The decisions that you can make for your life. Your needs are the basic things that make you you and keep you functioning at a high level. So I have to ask myself sometimes, when I'm in a space where I'm feeling overwhelmed, when I'm in a space where I'm feeling stressed out, when I'm in a space where I'm feeling lost, when I'm in a space where I'm feeling disheveled, when there's too much upheaval around me, I have to stop and say, what do you need, Renee? And generally when I do that, I put my hand right here on my heart and I start doing deep breathing exercises. And then I ask myself, after I've gotten myself to a place of calm and I can hear my answers, what do you need? I talk to myself like I'm standing on the outside of myself, getting ready to tend to myself. What do you need? We ask other people those questions all the time, and we are there for them to answer those questions or to help them get the answers that they need when they fall out of their mouths. I need this. We trying to run and go get it. I want that. We try and run and go get it. Are you really experiencing what you're experiencing? Okay, how do I help you through it? We ask those questions of other people all the time. Very rarely do we give ourselves the benefit of that same conversation with ourselves. So the what do you need question is so key because it is the question that unlocks all the answers on the inside of you. What do you need? I need to sing. Not I want to sing. Singing is a part of my being. It is who I be. I be a singer. I be a dancer. I be a teacher. I be a preacher. It is what my internal cells are made of. That's where the need base comes from. What do you need? I need to be happy. I remember so clearly asking myself, what do you need? And the words, I need to be happy, came out of my mouth. And I was like, crap, I'm not happy. I didn't even know I'm not happy. Wait a minute, what does that mean? And then I had to define, okay, so what does being happy mean? What does being a singer mean? What does being a dancer mean? What does being a teacher mean? I need to speak. What does being a person who speaks, what does that mean? And why do you need it? What does it do for you? All kinds of questions come from the questions, as you can see. But when you get all of those questions answered, it gives you a few things. It gives you clarity. It gives you full understanding. Full understanding and clarity. It gives you the ability to choose wisely and powerfully. And it gives you the ability to plan and decide. So plan what you want to do and decide what you're not willing to do. Because the next question is, am I willing to do it or am I not willing to do what I need to do in order to have what I need? Because if I'm not willing to go to music class and study, I don't need to play the piano. I just want to. And it's okay to have a want and not necessarily go for it. But you can't ignore a base need or you'll have a deficit that won't benefit your life outcomes. So, what do you need? Sit down, sit back, answer the question. And then do like you would do for somebody else. Go get what you need. Really on a base level, what do you need? Go get it. If that's something that's going to benefit you later, go get it. Because absolutely you do need it. So at a certain point, what I needed was counseling. After my dad passed, when I realized that, let's see, I was driving down the street. I think I told you guys this. My dad passed June 19th, 2018. And I was driving down the street about a week after, and I heard that a family friend had passed that I've known all my life. And I felt a little something. And I was like, oh, okay, wow, that's bad. And then I heard that my god brother passed, like literally 4 days later. I felt nothing. And I was like, well, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. And let me frame that for you. There were 6 other people. My cousin got killed, brutally murdered. 2 uncles, my aunt. My cousin got murdered brutally. A family friend passed away. And then my dad. So my dad was like number 6. Maybe there's somebody, I feel like there was somebody else before him. So I think he was like number 6 or 7. And he was the biggest of them all. And so after that, then those 2 people passed away. No, he was number 6. Then those 2 people passed away. And I felt nothing. And when I felt nothing, I realized I was numb. And because I'm a feeling person, me feeling nothing was an alarm that made me go, oh, wait, stop. Okay. Nay, I know you're in a hard space. I know you're feeling like numb and the fog is here and you're dealing with the fog. Okay, so what do you need? What do you need? And what I needed was grief counseling. What I needed was an outlet. What I needed was a whole bunch of different things. I needed to be away. I needed to not be with my family when I went to the funeral in Michigan with them. Because I went to the funeral in Virginia first. And then we had the funeral in Michigan. And it was only like 9 days from start to finish. So when it came down to it, I needed to not be surrounded by a whole bunch of chaos. I didn't need that. What do you need? I need to be able to eat and rest. What do you need? I need a space where I can just cherish my relationship. What do you need? I need a place where I can not have to fight with this. What do you need? And I kept asking myself, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? And when it all came down to it, I set myself up for such a breath when it was time for me to breathe, that I was able to actually have a benefit from it. So asking yourself what you need in a crisis, especially in a crisis where there's so much uncertainty, can truly be a benefit to you on so many levels, especially your mental health, especially your emotional center. It gives you the opportunity to have so much clarity, to have so much power, to have so much of the ability to go and seek out support for those areas, that without it, it's almost like you just are doing yourself a disservice. So I would encourage you during this time to ask yourself the questions that are beneficial to you. I ask you to ask yourself, what am I currently really experiencing? What do I want? And what do I need? Define all of those things. Take as much time as you need to define all of those things. Put the pen to paper and give yourself a list for the needs, a list for the desires, and a paragraph or two about what you're experiencing when you are out of it and have a moment to reflect. And then plot your way to your next best thing in all of it, so that you're not behind, so that you're not stuck, so that you're actually able to flourish in the situation, regardless of the situation. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Dawn Ori, speaker, teacher, thought leader, and abundance coach, the watchman on the wall for your abundance, and here to guide you to your most abundant life. If you'd like to find out more information about how you can work with me, you can speak with me online at my website, dawnori.com. You can also follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and I'll speak with you again soon. Love you very much. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.